Hello, everybody. All right. Good to see everyone tonight. Here we are.
What is going on?
Good to see y'all.
Yeah.
Sunburnt. Back of my neck hurts.
It's because you was laying out by the pool all day.
Probably so. Probably so. Probably so.
I wish I was laying.
I love your green screen, Shawn. That's pretty neat.
Thank you. It was like $4.99 off Google. I found it.
Yeah. I told Shawn, I said, I think he's going to have the best background of anybody we've had on.
There's no doubt about it.
It's going to be hard to top.
It's
I'm gonna try to figure that out.
The only place in the house where I can get total silence.
Nothing wrong with that.
Everyone's afraid of you. Everyone's afraid to jump in there.
I've got 5 kids and 4 of them are girls. So 6 months, 2, 4, 14. So it's nothing for all 4 of them to be crying at the same time.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you have a beautiful family, brother. Absolutely beautiful family.
Absolutely.
Tommy Bain.
Thank you, sir, as well as you.
Good to see Scott Blair in the house. Tommy Bain, Blue Line Pressure Washing.
Scott. Oh, no.
What's going on?
So, since they took our third-party hosting to groups, I tried to set up an event with an external link, and they're saying nothing's here. And there was 46 people going, so I'm trying to get this here. Trying to get the link, trying to make it happen. Epic fail tonight for me, maybe.
I'm zero help.
No, it's all good. Got Charles Henry in the house. Hey, ladies. And Sean Weber. Hello there. Antonio Curry.
What is going on?
Skyrise, Mr. Patrick. Always good to see you in the house. Skyrise, are you washing this week? Things are going well for you?
Hey, Mike, what's the smallest state on the map?
Like in population or the actual?
I don't know.
Are we talking about geography?
Here's what he says. TC's Power Blast checking in from the smallest state on the map.
Okay, smallest state on the map.
Yeah, what's your guess? I got one.
I'm
gonna throw
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, or
I'm going with Rhode Island.
Or is that what you're going with?
I'm going with Rhode Island.
Okay,
hey, wait,
Rhode Island.
Is Connecticut? Is that? That's
Siri.
That's not a.
What's the smallest
state? Is that a state
in America? I don't really know what it is. I'm going to go with Rhode Island though.
Mike's cheating and using.
Hey, Antonio, let us know where you're coming from.
He's from Rhode Island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Siri don't lie. Justin Niggemeyer. Justin Niggemeyer is new to washing, and he said, Mike, I downstreamed that big house I told you about, and it came out amazing. I told you it would. Super cool, man. Super cool, Justin. Did you set out your signs when you did that? Good for you. All right, tonight we have in the house our good friend and fellow washer, longtime washer, Mr. Shawn Holderman of the Dayton, Ohio area. Prestige.
I'm technically in Mike's territory.
Yeah, well.
Me too.
By the way, Shawn, This is an intervention. We brought you on as an intervention. Please stay out of my area. And
I will try my best.
I don't know if you caught that or not, but Jeremy said he was in my wash area too, and he's 3 hours away. Just stay out of my wash area.
I can't even go to get gas without seeing Mike down here.
Yeah, I think he's in Kentucky more than he is Ohio.
It seems like it. Oh, believe you me, guys. I'm tired of it. I love God's country, but man, I gotta get some work done. Good to see Joe Maddox. Joe never chimes in, so it's always good to see Joe. Shawn, you know Joe well.
Oh boy. Oh,
too well.
Boy. Oh boy. Comments are coming.
Yeah, they are. Jeremy, you got a question up there for you, buddy.
Oh, I don't know if I shared this story. Did I share this story? So I had a P40. I have a P40. Kept giving me issues, right? Maybe 10 hours on it. Kept leaking, this and that. Jonathan at North Georgia Airless sent me tons of stuff. Couldn't never really ever get it fixed. And it messed up on me again like a few weeks ago when I was doing that house, Mike. I think I texted you about it, but
you did.
I had a spare part and I was mad, and I gave up on the P40. Like, I was just pissed, if I'm being quite honest with you about it. And I ended up calling back down in North Georgia and just ordered an AR-45 pumping gearbox. Cause like, I'll just take his stupid P40 off and throw this AR-45 on. And I'm fairly decently okay with mechanics. Like, there's really not a lot that I don't do unless I'm getting like internally into an engine, like a small engine, sure, but a big V8, big block or something, I'm out. But I could not, for the life of me, get that P40 gearbox off the shaft. I mean, I like to strain my guts out pulling on that thing. So I had pry bars, like, and I was like, I'm going to bend this shaft getting this off here. Like, I was on it. So I flew off mad, and I had one spare part left. And I said, well, I just put it back together, and then I took the part off and replaced the part with the other one I had. And wouldn't you know, the P40 no longer leaks. So now I've got a AR-45 gearbox and pump sitting on the shelf. So I was like, I think I'll just have to order me a motor and throw that on there for a backup. You know,
there you go.
I needed a spare anyways.
Well, Jeremy, when you
I helped one of the. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say real quickly, Jeremy, when you're able to, you need to tour Shawn's shop. He's got more toys to wash with, and he's got squirt guns. I mean, he's got it all.
I want to tour the office. That's what I want to tour. that's my speed right there. Man. I'm taking a vacation, go to Ohio.
Yeah, I helped a guy take a AR-45 off and replace it because he fried it. And man, I tell you what, it was every bit. And we even so he bought a skid from Heath, and one of Heath's guys was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "You're probably gonna break some stuff getting it off there." He's like, they seize up, and the guy didn't know that you're supposed to let it run in bypass for more than 30 seconds or whatever. And he'd set it down for 10, 15 minutes and go do something else. So yeah, it was that can be a job.
Yeah. Not cool.
Learn a lesson the hard way.
Shawn, would you care to take a few minutes and tell us who you are? Tell us how you got into pressure washing. We know you've been in it longer than most of us have been alive. And just explain yourself, young man.
I started in 2007. So kind of everybody else, I it was my side hustle. The first 5 years in business, I worked for the Sleep Numbers. I don't know if you've heard of those, but delivered, installed those, and then did washing on the evenings, weekends, but that was a good foot in the door for customers because I'm in their house, I'm in their bedroom. Oh, hey, you got roof stains, or I could, the driveway would look really good. So that helped me get a lot of like good customer base through that. But yeah, it got to the point where it was, what am I going to continue this job full time and work for somebody else? I'm doing 2 full-time jobs, and it just gets to the point where you got to go one way or the other. And, obviously I'd rather not work for the man. So washing it was, and but I'd say probably growth was really took off. I'd say actually around COVID, 2020 was like our biggest year. And then after that, it just kept going, which, I would have thought for sure it would have been the opposite. But yeah, so this is year 17 for us. We've got 4 rigs. I've got about 5 full-time guys, 2 part-time guys. We do a lot of big commercial stuff. We travel out of state, do big inflatable sports domes, inflatable air structures. We do only ones that I know of that do mobile on-site interior cleaning of those. But yeah, and then, do everything from a little back patio to traveling to New York to a dome to a little bit of everything. So, but yeah, 17 years. It's when I started, there were no Facebook groups. There was no YouTube. There was none of that. So it was everything I learned was the hard way. And it was just, in the field experience, which, a lot of guys are like, man, I can't. It's like you got to spend time in the field. You got to learn how to fix stuff because something's always breaking. But Russ Johnson was my saving grace. So back then, I can remember driving down to Old Bardstown Road, taking equipment to him because I just couldn't figure it out. But I'd call Russ and he'd be there. He was the old school Heath Phelps, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But yeah, he was he helped me out. But yeah, that's brief summary. So yeah, I've probably done and seen about everything, and some stuff I didn't want to see. So, but yeah, I help a lot of local guys, mentor a few of them, and always ask me questions because learning the hard way sucks. It's a good way to learn, but it sucks. So I try to help those guys out with any questions that they have and save them a little bit of ache. But then, and we got kind of a store. We just got a new location in January. So we got a 9,000 square foot building on 1.5 acres and started selling bleach. And then the bleach is leading into other sales, other equipment. So eventually we'll have a storefront. And we were supposed to partner up with another pressure washing store in the area. Whatever reasons, it didn't work out for them. They were going to move in the front part of the building. They were going to be in the back. Didn't work out. So we're where we are now and just make the best of it.
Yeah. Well,
Joe's a liar. I ignore him. Every time I see his phone call, I hit ignore.
Yeah. Well, you were speaking of your shop there.
You're welcome, Joe.
9,000 square feet building, 1.5 acres, lots of plans that you have for that. You had some irons to work out at first, and not everybody came through the way that you thought that they were going to. Now they fit you with the bill, so to speak, but you're making it work. And
right.
And we just play the hand that we're dealt. God knows what's going on. We just trust in Him, and you're doing a great job. We're super proud of what you are doing, man. Super proud.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. But yeah, that's the honest truth there, because God has a plan for everybody, and that's there was another company that was to be getting that building, and it fell through, and we were able to get it, and then that fell through, and then we started with the source. Yeah, I just doing what I'm told, and like I said, I help a lot of the guys, and I'm here to serve others is what is what I'm told to do. It's what's put in my heart. So it's what I out when I can. And I've got my operations guys like, man, you need to teach classes. You need to teach classes. I'm like, no, like I don't want that. That's more stress. Just, hey, if guys got a question, we'll answer it. And yeah, but yeah, I don't want to be that guy that's on there by my class. I got all this knowledge. Buy it.
Yeah. Well, we're grateful. We're grateful. We do a segment, Shawn, called WWJD. What would Jeremy do? And we're going to do that right now, if you don't mind. We have a question here from Charles Henry. Charles, are you in the house? I think you're still there. And I'll be honest with you. His name's Charles Henry. I don't know that you can trust a guy with two first names. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Well, I don't even think that's his real name, but nonetheless, I'm probably getting hosed over here. But so, Jeremy, here's the question, and then Shawn, feel free to chime in after Jeremy and tell me what.
Yeah, that 100% sounds made up.
Yeah. So WWJD, here it is. Charles Henry says that says this happened to him earlier today. He said he scheduled a house wash and concrete. Communication was clear on expectations, and the reminder was sent. He said, I arrived and two cars were in the driveway. Are you listening, Jeremy?
I'm catching.
Okay. Two cars are in the driveway. One parked at the curb in front of the house. All the furniture was not moved, so no furniture moved. And he said there was lots of clutter. Now, here's the kicker. He said every window was at least a quarter of an inch open. I don't know. I guess he measured. Maybe he measured them. I don't know. But all the windows were at least slightly open. And he said, I mean, I can see him out there with a tape measure. Charles Henry keeps a tape measure on his hip, and he measures the windows. He said nobody would answer the door or a phone call. And so the question is, do you wash or do you roll on? Or what do you do?
And you're at the right house.
Yeah, that's it.
You're at the right house. You didn't go to like Cherry Lane instead of like Cherry Drive, right?
Good point.
I think that's the best question. Charles Henry, were you even at the right house?
By the way, Charles says he has three first names.
Oh no. Charles Nicholas Henry.
Charles Nicholas Henry.
So
3 strikes.
That's awesome. You cannot be trusted.
Yeah. So I guess what I would do first off is I'd knock on the door and make sure I was at the right house, right? And be like, you're going to put your windows up. We'll wash the house, but we are not going to move. I mean, if it's me solo and it's a ton of clutter, if it's one or two things, and maybe she's elderly or he's elderly, and I mean like old, 65 plus 70, even though 65 don't really feel that old now that I'm getting older. But, if they're just not able to physically move all the things they have, and it's just 2 or 3 little things, I will move 2 or 3 little things. I'm not moving swings and porches. I'm not taking everything off that. So I guess it depends. If they're home, they open the door and they're willing to put the windows up, we'll wash the house. If they don't want to move the stuff, then so be it. If they want to move the cars, I mean, I've been to places before and roll up, and there'll be cars in the driveway, and they move them for me. They'll pull on grass or whatever. It's usually not a problem. And speaking of, last week I did a driveway, and you know how some of these country driveways have got like a turnaround in them, like you can back up and go around. So they had 2 Jeeps parked in the turnaround. I didn't wash the turnaround, and I just washed the driveway minus that section.
Yep.
And I just said, hey, couldn't wash these. The Jeeps were there. She's like, I'm sorry. No worries. Don't worry about it. Everything else looks great. I said, if you want it done when I'm back in the area, I'll just swing by and knock that little section out. If you want to move the Jeeps, just let me know when you move them. Luckily for me, it's like 5-10 minutes away, but they've not called me that they've moved the Jeep, so I guess they're not worried about it.
Right.
So,
what about you, Shawn? What would you do?
Say if I've got no answer, nobody at the door, no phone, no answer on the phone, probably just roll up and on to the next one. There's just not enough time in the day as there is. I'd probably wait 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes to, somebody's at work or something like that. Nobody comes to the door, no response. Just have to send them a message saying, hey, windows up, cars in driveway. Couldn't get a response from anybody. We got to keep moving.
Yeah.
So, and then just same thing, like Jeremy said, I pop back in when I'm in the area and take care of it for you. I'll give you a heads up, and if you can make sure everything's cleared out of the way, that'd be greatly appreciated, and we'll get you taken care of.
Yep, I like your style. I think I do the same thing. We all pretty much have the same answer. It does happen, and it's a frustration to the schedule. But I will, as a caveat, say this: that if something like that happens and it's the homeowner's fault, I hate to use that word, but it's on the part of the homeowner. It's no different than if they call and cancel. Me personally, when someone calls and cancels, I don't put them as priority. And it's not to, it's not to discipline them, but it's kind of like when you call the doctor and you can't make your appointment, they don't do their best to get you in as quickly as possible. They'll tell you it's going to be another month before they can get you in, and because you're the one who canceled, then you just have to live with that. So if I don't have anything going on, and there are those times when you just don't have a lot going on, then sure, they obviously get priority because they're all that I've got going on. But, especially during the heavy seasons, if someone cancels or there's that problem where you have to roll on, then I would encourage you, don't put them priority, but, get to them when you can. I guess I'm just throwing that out there because homeowners do say, I've had them say, I'm sorry I had to cancel. How soon can you get to me? Well, they cannot be priority. It's just sad to say, but it's true.
So would you say, would it be wise to implement a deposit, or I think on some of these CRMs, you can have a card put on file to hold your spot. So would it be wise to have like a cancellation fee of $25 or something like that? Because when I get my hair cut, I have to book the time. Like you don't walk in, get a number, sit down at the barbershop where I go to. You actually have to go on Facebook, click the book now, get a link, and their policy is like, hey, if you cancel,
Tell me you don't go to Break Clips.
No, I don't go to Terrible Clips.
But look at the show. Take off your hat.
Yeah, I mean, look at that right
there. Oh my God. Dude, I've got a fairly sterile garage. I can do that for you.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just buzz mine.
It's called the Modern Barbarian, okay?
Okay.
But so they have a like $7, so a haircut's $18, $20, whatever. It's like a $7.50 or something like that, $8 cancellation fee or a no-show fee.
Huh.
So would it be wise? Do you think it'd be wise to have that if the CRM will allow you to set that up? But like no-show, like you canceled, or is that even possible? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
What say you, Shawn?
I totally get you. But yeah, I believe you can do the deposits. The only deposits we require is on big commercial stuff, unless it's residential above 5 figures, then we'll deposit. But I think something on just like a basic house wash, you just suck it up and figure out when you can get back to it. And yeah, you got some time on the clock, or the guys got extra hour because they had to drive there for 15-minute drive to this place or whatnot. But I think until you start getting up into your higher ticket washes, I wouldn't see it as necessary really.
Yeah. And obviously on
I
the
mean,
stream,
unless you're just slam packed and
yeah.
what's that?
I was just saying, Bright Power Washing was saying that he gets a deposit
Yeah.
on every residential wash. That's impressive. It has never really crossed my mind to do that, and I guess because I get money. I don't have any right now that are delinquent. They pay, so I have some who are going to be past due soon, but for the most part, everyone pays on the spot.
If you don't pay on the spot, you pass due with me, homie.
That's right.
You got to the end of the day to pay me.
Pay up.
That's right. Unless you are a commercial account, it's a net same day.
Net now. It's net now.
Net now.
That we're going to use that one. We're definitely going to use it.
Oh, you're at work? Okay, I'll come to your work and pick it up.
We need a shirt that says net now.
Net now.
With the hand out like that. Good stuff. That's good. Yeah. That's good stuff.
I like what Jeremy says. Did you see that?
Tow truck.
straight for the kill shot there on that one.
Just tell him one of them crazy Floridians took it, man. You don't know what happened to it.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Shawn, tell us this Bright Power Wash says he's 4 weeks booked out. How many house washes? I know you do both commercial and residential, but on average, how far are you backed out? How many house washes, commercial washes do you do in a day and a week, would you say?
Oh, I mean, it varies. Like this week, we're on a big water park. So we had 4 jobs one day, but one was, roof paver restoration, gutters, stamp patio, and then I think like 3 regular house washes. But then now we're on a water park all till Thursday, and then and then we're anywhere from 4 to 6. So unless it's just house washing, then we're at the higher number, 7, 8 a day. I usually split 2s up and 2 and 2, and then them, and then but we usually try to upsell everything. Anytime somebody wants to wash, you're getting an itemized quote for free cleaning. Anything that I see that is clean, I'm giving you a price on it. So that we're there, we're getting our money's worth too, because what kills me with having employees and payroll is payroll itself. I mean, especially payroll taxes, it's brutal. So the longer, the more I can get out of a ticket price at the same place, and I think drive time and things like that, roll up hose, back up hose, set up, all that stuff takes time to do. So if I can 4 or 5 services out of each stop, I can maximize the value of my guys for their time. Because one guy, he makes $25 an hour, but another guy at $23.50. I've got another one, he's about to be at $22.50, and then my other guys are 20, my part-times. So yeah, it's payroll is what kills me. So the more I can sell on a job, that's what we go for. So maybe at a place like that, 3, 4, 5 hours or something, and then they'll stop and hit a couple houses back to the shop or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I would consider busy season until probably the end of May.
Oh no.
Oh no, we lost him.
Ah.
We'll see if he can jump back on.
Yeah.
I will text him real quick.
So to answer your question, Mike, yes, I do in-person estimates.
Why don't you tell us about that? That's awesome.
Yeah, I know Shawn's got not the absolute best internet out at his residence. We did a test run last night, and which of course I don't think we were on there for 30 minutes, but we was on there probably 15, 20 minutes, and it was working, but it was lagging, and Skyrise, just like you said, it's the worst podcast ever. What else would you expect? What else would you expect, brother?
What kind of podcast is this?
Yeah, it's the worst, baby.
I know we've only been doing this for what, 3 months, but I get to where I don't even sweat it anymore. Like things just happen. There he is.
No, Mike, this is episode 19. What is that?
Jeepers. That's almost 4 months. No,
it's longer than 4 months. 5?
Yeah, something like that. Hey, Shawn, what you been up to, buddy?
Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
All right. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't have real internet.
That's okay.
They won't run a cable up to my house.
Shawn, can you answer this question for us on the screen? Some loser posted it.
Nerd. Yes, actually, every quote, every resident, almost, I would say probably 90% are virtual. And I probably do half the quoting. I've got an operations / sales guy that's at the job office all the time. I'm not an office person. I hate the office. I'm in there for like an hour and I'm already losing my mind. So I'm in probably 80% of the time just because I can't be confined. But yeah, we try to do every estimate we can in person. Now, if it's just, something simple and it's, 30, 40 minutes away, we'll probably just try to look it up and do it that way. But that way I can get in front of the customer. I can get in front of the customer and be like, oh, hey, go ahead and quote the roof for, so we can do the upsell. So, and I feel like too, probably 80% of the quotes we do in person, we book almost as soon as we give them the quote. Most customers already have a budget or a set price in mind. So if you're, in that target range, okay, well, when can you get us on the schedule? So I feel like we get more bookings when you're in person, more personable touch with the client.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. So, Shawn, do you do bundles or packages, or do you just price everything? And like if you did I know you're saying you talk about upselling, and I like upselling as well, but I've been trying to do like a here recently more of a bundle deal or 3-tier quote system. Do you do anything like that?
No. I just quote everything I can, and then if they ask for a discount, I'll tell them, if you do everything, I can give you this amount % off.
Yeah.
No, I don't really offer any type of package or discount unless they specifically ask for it. So if they're not asking for a discount, that usually means they're going to pay the price for it anyways. So, and once busy season starts too, we usually up our prices a little more. Every year, actually, I wouldn't say significantly, but prices. And every year it turns out we do more revenue with less. So it's like I used to be, it was my side hustle. I was, I was probably one of the cheaper guys in the area. And then, which there weren't that many good back then, which is a whole other, I forget where I was going with that.
Every year you
raising our prices. Yeah. Yeah, so we're probably the most expensive in the area now, but I also have my monthly cost on without material for jobs, just the building, payroll, in fuel, probably around 35,000 a month in expense. So there's a lot of overhead there. So we're not, and that's before SH, that's before paver sealer, that's before all that stuff. So if we're not doing 60,000 a month revenue, we're not making money. Right? We're just at our break even point by the time it's all said and done. Right. So, and then you have a machine go out or something like that, then boom, you're in the hole. So, no, I really, and somebody specifically asked for it, or if they want to pay cash, then there's always discounts for cash.
Okay.
Well done, my friend.
Absolutely. So when you first started out, you saying it was like a side hustle, and so once you decided to go full time, was it just you initially full time, or did you bring on like a helper or like a part-time technician to kind of help you when you transitioned? Or how did you know when was the right time to do that?
So that's a question. Yeah, that was a tough one because, like I said, it was first 5 years. So you've got that security of, I know I'm getting paid this amount. I've got, at that time I had 2 young kids, my oldest now. So I had insurance, I had health, 401k, all stuff. And so that was definitely a hard decision to make. And it's just one of those ones, if you don't make it. And so I tell them, like, you gotta shoot your shot, man, before the shot clock runs out, because you know what's gonna happen if you don't take a chance. So, but it got to the point where it was, I'm working 8 hours at work, I'm washing another 50, 60 on the side, and just killing myself. So you get to that point where you think you can do it, but you're just not sure, and you just got to take the shot. Like I said, with the building we just got, I'm like, you got to take the shot and then see where it goes. And like you said earlier, Mike, every guy has a plan for everybody, so you just got to follow it. If you feel it hurt, you got to make a decision, and otherwise, like, you just be filled at the end of it. But yeah, I did have one guy, he with me almost from the beginning, when I started like part-time as a helper, and then probably I'd say year 2 or 3, I got another part-time, so they would kind of switch on and off. And then what started killing me probably around 10 or 12, I would have a guy help me out here, and over the winter time, because I'm in Ohio, so Washington, we got pretty mild winters now, but Washington used to be non-existent in the winter in Ohio.
Right.
So now not so much, but I feel like as soon as November hit, we were done. We were back at it in March. Now Washington to December, and then it picks up again into March. So it's like almost the weather shifted back a little bit. But these guys have worked out because they would go get another job. They gotta keep those coming in. Because I 1099 them, so they could have employment. So it was probably year 12 is when we switched to a payroll system. So that way, guys can retain. I can retain my guys over the winter time. They can collect a little bit of unemployment. If we've got any jobs that pop up in the winter, I can pay them on the side, do a little double dip for them, help them out, and that's what really helped is being able to keep guys on all the time. So I lost one guy, he was with me almost 5 years and then gone. So, and that's a lot of experience. It's a lot when you got somebody, it's a long time washing. Even if you're doing part time, you still learn a lot. So every year having to train somebody, learn this, it was taxing. So, but to the point where you have too much workload and you can't do both. You keep a full-time job and wash, or you're like the other guy said, he's 4 weeks. Like that's a pretty good, that's a heavy schedule, depending how many jobs you're doing. So if you're a month out, then you just get the word out there, pass it, and, pass it along and advertise. And, advertising mouth is obviously good. That's probably that, and Google is probably 80% of our business, because I had actually advertised in probably 5 years.
Wow.
I'd run some Google AdWords here and there.
Yeah.
I know I've done Facebook and stuff. I should probably talk to Gage about that. But yeah, I'm not very smart when it comes to all the technology. So I'm just a grunt, really. So that's like I give it to you. I don't see how all day and come home and edit videos and you got to pull it out myself. It's crazy to me. Crazy. There's never enough time.
He's savvy. He's savvy.
No, I'm not savvy. Well, I've got a question for you. You're talking there, Shawn, about your employees. You've got several full-time, a few part-time employees. You're washing two, I believe, you have 2 men in a truck. That sounds like you should start a moving company, 2 men in a truck. So you can move them and wash them. There you go.
Funny, that's where my operation guy came from, 2 men in a truck.
Well, see, it works.
He ran a store in Pearland, Texas for like 5 years. So yeah,
wow.
He moved back to Ohio and they weren't treating right. So yeah, he's my only salary guy. So I run him ragged there in the store and
absolutely.
I got him taken off tomorrow.
So my question to you is, as it pertains to employees, I've never had an employee, and I've always felt like the anxiety of having an employee would just be too much for me to handle. Now, I wash a lot of houses and I stay on the go all the time. Most of the time I have a good day, and there's often, in fact, many times throughout the day, I'm thinking to myself, I wish I had an employee. But one of the things that frustrates me the most, or would frustrate me the most, Shawn, is if I had an employee and they call off when I need them the most. Their baby is sick and they've got to deal with that. Some things are legitimate, some things are not. How do you deal with that, having so many employees? How do you deal with the stress of the call-offs, the sick days, the vacations, all of those things? How do you work that into a system that works for you?
I don't know it well because it is stressful. Probably a few hairs up here, but
yeah,
it's just so a lot of the time it's I'll fill in for them. If I know what they've got is 100% legit, family issues, kids, whatever, like no big deal. My wife is super understanding. Like I said, we've got 5 kids ourselves, so we totally get stuff coming up all the time. But no, it's definitely stressful, and that's when you have customer service questions and explain to them, hey, we got a guy call off today. We're going to try to send a crew over there to get you done, but if not, we'll slide you in. And then it's the whole scheduling thing. If you're already 4 weeks out, it's like, well, this is this is my scheduling fault, not the customers. So you got to get to them as soon as possible. So there's not really a good way to deal with the stress of it. You just got to deal with it like anything else. You just figure and roll with the punches, improvise, adapt over them. It's what was pounded into my head. So if there's a situation that comes up, that's what I do. I figure stuff out. Like I said, I can't do computer stuff, but if you throw
I saw that.
Your green screen went. Your post went fast there, Mike. Sorry.
I would get up and
But
fix
yeah,
it, but I'm not wearing underwear. So
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for saying that. We might have to change the chat if you do that.
classic. It's the worst podcast ever.
But yeah, you just got to figure it out. You just got to figure it out, though. There's no way to put it. You just got to deal with it and figure it out.
Sorry. I love this.
This is
Get some
great.
pants on, man.
I know. I should really go. Honey, bring me some shorts. How bad can it get?
Some shorts and a thumbtack.
It can get pretty bad. Skyrise.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I said I'm going to be on the worst podcast ever. So now it's going to be the most worst podcast ever.
Oh, we live up to our name. That's for sure.
Amanda told me to share this about the. I've got a new guy, part time. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure how it's going. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I would like to think it's going to go well, but he's a college kid, just finished up finals, and he's doing he played football, so his dad's a head coach for a local high school team. So now he's going to be doing like the strength and conditioning coaching, like assistant or whatever, for his dad. So I did not know this when we had initially discussed this conversation. And then he shared this with me on Saturday because he went out with me and did a few small things on a Saturday just to kind of see the equipment, see the process, follow me around while we did some small jobs, just like 3 little small jobs. And anyways, he was like, once school goes out in like 2 weeks, he said, I won't be available Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 to 11. We have conditioning and I have to be there. And then there's football practice in the summer sometime. And then, I'm like, I'm not sure that this is how well this is going to work. I think he would be good, but I'm not sure the situation is not an ideal situation.
Right.
So, and tell him about mine.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I'll share this. Yesterday, which we've had some storms. Yesterday, he texted me yesterday morning and was like, he couldn't work with me Monday, which I was aware of that initially, so that's why he went with me on Saturday. Tuesday, he texted me in the morning and was like, I've got a stomach bug. I can't go. I'm sorry. I apologize. And then I'm pulled in behind Moe's, Tex-Mex, Chipotle style food. And I'm just back there eating in my truck in the trailer. And then I see him whip in the drive-through. And I told you already, Mike, I said, how in the world do you eat Moe's if you've had a stomach bug? I said, right. Mexican or Tex-Mex is the farthest thing from my mind when I'm deathly sick. So I was like, I don't know. It's questionable. It's really questionable. I don't know.
So let's talk about that, Shawn. How do you handle an employee that is maybe incompetent? Have you ever had to fire anyone? Just let them go? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, it sucks because it puts you. I mean, you had to do it, but it puts you as a person in a pretty crummy situation to be in. To say that, hey, so I can't have you work for me anymore. But I mean, there's obviously nicer ways to state it than that. But yeah, we actually had a guy that's not coming back this year, and it was because what my operations guy calls a energy empire. So he's with me. This will be the 4th year. But at the end of the season, it's everybody's spent. By the time October, November rolls around, and you've been cranking out 70-hour weeks, and third shift doing commercial work and this and that. So everybody kind of gets at each other, but he's an energy vampire, so he just sucked the energy out of the team. So, he's always complaining and moaning about this or that, just a horrible attitude. And then what really got me is his facial expressions and his body language. Like, he just look at you like you were just dumber than a box of rocks.
Oh, God, I don't know how you did
ask him something, and yeah, but I could send him out with another guy and to go take care of stuff. So it's like, he was valuable to the company because he could get stuff done. But at the same time, he's road raging in the company truck and stuff like that, and which is no go. So it sucks, and it's you gotta retrain somebody to fill that position, but you gotta cut the strings and just move on and hope you can find another right person, because you're gonna hire 10 when you may get one person that's even worth anything. So it's just I mean, I think Jeremy, it's not gonna work out. So it's just one of those things where you just could be like, hey, you know what, it's not working more like I thought it was going to, and I'm sure you'll find work somewhere, or referrals, I know, or whatever. But it's sometimes you just gotta cuss, and it sucks telling somebody they're fired.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, I don't think it's I don't think that it would be a big deal to them, because this is just a in between summer. This is a summer job. It's not a they're not looking at it as like an employment kind of situation. So I was like, God, you might as well say 9 to 11 is pretty much 8 to 12, because he ain't coming out first thing in the morning to do anything. So you won't get him to after lunchtime. So, I mean, on a decent day, you've washed 3 houses from, or two houses going on to the third by lunchtime. Sure. So, that's half the day.
Half 47.
Yeah, that's half the day. So, I think we'll have a discussion about it tomorrow. So we'll see.
Shawn, you care to answer that question on the screen for us?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely believe in paying your guy well. The more you pay someone, the more they're gonna be willing to do for you and your company. I found that you got to find that the single males, the 30, 45-year rich best workers, that just single, no kids. If you get somebody like that, pay them well, because I've got one of my lead techs. I mean that. So to explain how good this guy is, or how dedicated he is to the company. I begged him not to, begged him, almost for him not. He eats Chick-fil-A restaurants, and we got to do them on Sunday. So I haven't been to one in quite a while. Go to church with family Sundays for my day with family. So I begged him. He went and cleaned Chick-fil-A on a Sunday after his grandmother's funeral.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I mean, just super dedicated. So, I mean, like that. So I give him, he gets $20 on any Google reviews that he gets. Any commissions, any upsell like that on jobs, 10%. Willing to do stuff like that. I think on that Chick-fil-A job, I think I tossed him on like Monday morning. I gave him like $150 or something like that. Just like, hey man, I told you to do it. greatly appreciate it, but you gotta take care of them and pay them. So yeah, anything I can do to, because they do that. What's $20 for Google review out of whatever price your job is, or 10% is nothing in the grand swings on a job that they're pulling or they're bringing in. And yes, they are real employees. I don't know if you got that earlier, but that's the reason that we switched to payroll, because we were losing our 1099 guys for the winter and then having to retrain. And so, yeah, real W-2 paid employees. Their commissions paid on our paychecks as a separate thing. We also do early completion bonuses on our virtual jobs. So if we've got a job, we get it 2-3 days early or whatever, usually pay out. So I think last year, my lead tech probably, an extra $2,000-3,000 in bonuses on the year. And yeah, I think it's, 6, 7, maybe 8 months that we're washing, full time. The rest is,
Oh, we lost him.
Ah,
dang it. Right at the top of the hour, too. We definitely have to get him on sometime. He is so interesting. One of the questions I was going to ask him was, what does he do as a hobby? If he comes back on, I'm going to let him tell us.
oh, yeah.
But Shawn Holderman, guys, is one of the most interesting men on the planet. 38 years old, absolutely killing it. He is wise beyond his years, and he puts people to shame. I mean, he's got 5 kids, beautiful wife, lots of stress, and is an innovator, always doing something different. Hats off to Shawn Holderman.
I see him, but I don't see him.
I see that he's trying. Yeah. Says he's probably out shooting. No doubt.
Probably.
No doubt.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's a
oh,
work.
I see.
There he is.
There he is. Hey, Shawn, if you can hear me, I was just telling them that if you were able to come back on, I was going to ask you about your hobby that you hope to eventually take into a career, if that's something you're willing to talk about. Are you there?
Yeah, that's good there. We kind of started doing something along the same lines with shop time, basically from the time you get to the shop, from the time you're leaving the shop for the job. What's killing us? So we're doing kind of similar to that, attendance bonus, but more performance bonus. Because it was a couple weeks ago, we had it was almost $500, it's almost $600 in shop time, non-bill hours we call it, where it's not, it's coming out of the prestige pocket, it's not coming out of the customer's pocket. So yeah, that's a good one there.
Tell us about your hobby, Shawn. You've got a hobby that someday you may take into a career. If you don't care to share that with us as we kind of get towards the top of the hour.
Yeah, flying. I fly helicopters on the private side. Working towards my commercial rating. So I proposed to my wife in a helicopter. I actually went out in the farmer's field behind our house, and I crop circled Liz Lee, marry me in it. And I had a helicopter pick us up in the backyard. We went to my cousin's wedding, flew over the backyard and proposed to her. In the helicopter, we saw the crop dust or the crop circle in there. And then she got me a discovery flight, which is just an hour at the stick time. They take you up, take controls and everything. And then it was all over from there. So then I saved my money, got my license, done some pretty cool stuff. Flew down to Texas, took a helicopter from Texas up to New Hampshire, took another helicopter from New Hampshire over to Wisconsin. So it's a whole nother experience. But yeah, my goal is in 10 years to be away from day-to-day operations at Prestige and start a helicopter business where previously be a private pilot on return. So I've met a lot of well-off people over the years of doing this. And they've got more money than they know to do it, and they have houses up the peninsula or, down at Myrtle Beach or whatever. So I just want to fly a bunch of rich people around for money, pretty much. Just do that for 10 years, and then I'll have everything up and call it quits at 60. That's my goal.
Well, it's super
impressive. Prestige piloting.
I love it. I love it. Well, you are the most interesting man alive, as they say, and it's your pedigree is astounding and amazing. Most of us dream of getting there, but the fact of the matter is, at 53 years old, I don't know that I want that, but to watch you do it and know that you've been doing it already for 17 years, it really shows guys out there who have the motivation and the incentive to do a thing. They can do it if they really put their mind to it and dedicate themselves to it. And you've got 5 kids, you've got a beautiful wife, you've got a lot going on, and you manage to have expectations of yourself that are beyond what most of us have, and then have a desire to even retire in a totally different career. It's just absolutely mind-blowing.
I appreciate it, but it's a lot of people. They got to understand it. It's time, and I give it up to the guys that have grown exponentially over a short amount of time. How they do it in such little industry is mind blowing. It's awesome that they can do it. But yeah, I mean, it's been a slow grind. Like I said,
That's all right. We've got a question here. Have you guys had any luck with another chemical or just a surfactant that works well on dust? That's a great question.
Did you see the question above that?
Oh, okay. Dust buildup. Oh, I see. New construction. Well, mostly water, but yeah, Shawn would probably be a good answer for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't wash new constructions often. Hardly ever.
Right. Yeah. I've only done enough to say that I've done it.
Yeah. And the last one that I did was just solely windows, mortar on windows. So
okay. Yeah, I remember that video. Yeah. So I don't know if this helps or not, but Greg says dragon juice. You might look into that.
Yeah.
And Roger the Tinker says heavy rinse, no chems. That's where I was going. And Greg says EBC. Yeah, it's kind of going there with the heavy rinse, no chems.
I'm sure probably like an alkaline soap would do the trick. Probably an alkaline soap, maybe. EBC. Yeah, there really isn't much that EBC don't do. Yeah. I guess the question is it vinyl? Is it
brick?
Is it brick? What's the structure?
Right.
If it's brick, then you might get by doing a one restore. I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those things you'd have to say.
I think Roger the Tinker meant mist. Do a mist, then use chems. Okay.
No, fist. You punch it, dude. Punch the dust.
Punch it.
Kick it.
Well, Jeremy, as we head into the top of the hour, we're going to pray here in just a few minutes. But first, what do you have going on the rest of this week?
Let's get him back on here. What do I have going on? I have not washed today because of storms. Right. I have like 4 roofs that I need to get done before Friday. I got a hospital entrance, some parking garage steps, and an ER side to do, and like 8 houses. I got a lot to do in like 2 days.
You might
Not sure I can do it. Not sure I can do it all in 2 days.
You might have to call Shawn and see if you can borrow a few of his techs.
I can send a truck and 2 guys.
That's right. All right. It has been a wonderful hour. We have Shawn Holderman with us tonight. And next time we're going to get him somewhere up in a tree somewhere, maybe like what was that show where he climbs up the telephone pole to answer the phone?
We're going to get one of Shawn's guys up in the pole to hold the antenna.
That's right. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. Well, we are at the top of the hour. We're going to close in a word of prayer. This is Jeremy's week to pray, and then we're going to hit the eject button. It's been good to see everyone. We'll see you again next Wednesday night, Lord willing.
Absolutely. Are we ready?
We are ready.
All hearts and minds clear?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Heavenly Father, Lord God, we thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight, Lord, and just fellowship with one another. We thank you for our brother Shawn and his gracious attitude on joining us tonight and sharing his knowledge and experience with us, Lord. We ask that you be with him and his crew and his family, Lord, and watch over them as they work throughout the rest of the week, Lord. And just be over everyone who's tuned in tonight, all of our fellow washers and friends. Watch them, keep them safe. We thank you for your son. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your mercy. We love you. We praise you. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Shawn, thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Yes. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Good night.